Hey folks, I'm Melhorn, and in this video you're going to get to see my son Grayson kill his biggest buck ever. The great thing about this season is that we've seen a lot of deer. We've had a lot of opportunities to take bucks, and Grayson has passed up a lot of them. So we felt that if we held out long enough, we'd get something worthy of putting on the wall. So the place we decided to hunt on this afternoon was a food plot. Grayson and I have hunted it several times before. We usually see some deer. Usually it's small bucks, buttonheads, and some does, but we knew there was a good chance at seeing a good shooter buck in there. The food plot's in good shape. There's a lot of broadleaf stuff in there. There's some clover, and there's some winter wheat planted in it. So we figured it would be a good place to head to for an afternoon hunt. Well, we had been sitting there for about an hour and a half. It was about an hour until dark, and we saw something off to the left come out of the woods. Grayson said, "Daddy, there's a buck, but it's a small one. I'm gonna let it go." So I got some footage of this deer coming to us and walking past the stand. But as soon as this deer got out of frame, Grayson said to me, "Daddy, there's another one coming out, and he's a lot bigger." Kind of what happens here is I get the camera around and I start filming the deer. And I can't really tell through the camera exactly how big he is. Looked like he had some good tines though, so I kind of lay the camera down, pick up my binoculars, try taking a really good look at him just to see what I could see. And from the side, he looked really long tine, but I couldn't see the left beam. I gave him a few minutes to move around. He turned and looked at the camera, and sure enough, he was a long tined buck. Now, some of you may be asking, why are you waiting so long to shoot this deer? And I'm gonna tell you how it works in our club. We're not a trophy club, but we are a managed club. We have a 15-inch rule for all our adult hunters. Basically, deer has to be 15 inches wide. We're trying to eliminate shooting a lot of 1.5 and 2.5-year-old deer. The exception is that our youth hunters, first-time hunters, people who have never killed a deer, get an exception to that. Youth hunters get to kill one buck a year of any size they choose, and Grayson had already done that. So my hesitation here was I wanted to make sure that either A, the buck was of legal size for our club, or it was something that we were going to mount and put on the wall.
Take him if you can. Wait. Let me look one more time. God, he's close.
After getting a good look at the side profile on that deer, the long tines, how wide he was, and the fact that it was a mainframe 9, I knew he was one that we would be putting on the wall, so I told Grayson to take the shot when he had it.
Let me look. Shooting.
Matt.
Shooting.
Now, I'm not really sure why Grayson made the grunt. He's heard me do it before to stop deer. This deer was standing still. Maybe he just wanted to entice it to stand there a second longer. Whatever the reason was, it worked. He took the shot and he drilled it.
All right, so Grayson took a shot at a deer. Looked like a mainframe 9. I'm walking out. He's staying in the stand. We're going to try to pinpoint exactly where the deer went into the woods. It's kind of a good idea to do this. You can kind of see where the deer went in at that way.
So what I did was I left Grayson up in a stand, rifle unloaded. I came down and went walking to where we thought the deer was standing when he shot. And I'll tell y'all the reason to do this if you're new to hunting. If you've got another person with you, it's a good idea to do that So you kind of have an idea of where that deer was standing. If you're in an elevated stand, once you get down on the ground, things look totally different. And it's happened to me. You get over there and like, I think he was somewhere around here, and you don't really know. Grayson kind of told me where he thought the deer was standing at. We did some looking, and we found some blood right there on the edge of the food plot.
He's a little bit further down here than we thought.
I'm trying. Napkins.
There's blood right there.
Here, I got napkins.
Hang on. There's blood right here.
Well, folks, we didn't have to go far. About 30 yards inside the woods, Grayson saw the white belly, and his biggest buck ever was down.
See him?
Maybe him.
I just looked up and I saw white. Where are you going with this? Alright, so. Here it is.
He's down. Oh, got him.
I think he's a 9-pointer.
He is a 9.
This is the biggest rack I've ever seen. Listen, I've always wondered what it's like to get a big rack and hold it. Now I know what it's like.
Well, just like I thought and what I saw with the binoculars, it was a mainframe 9-pointer, which is pretty rare where we hunt. Most of our deer are 8 points or smaller. We get an occasional 9-10, but to have a mainframe 9, a very rare deer, an exceptional buck for Grayson at his age, and it's one that we'll be putting on the wall.
Nice deer.
There's blood right there. Do you like make a circle around? Look, I can hold him right here and it won't matter.
That's a great deer.
What happened was we got out here, we saw a buck. We think it's that same one that came walking through. This buck came behind it, and I was looking and I was like, Daddy, can I shoot that deer? He goes, I don't know, might not be wide enough. He looks, and my dad says, you know what, take him if you want him. And I looked, aimed right there, and boom, shot him. Great blood trail and everything.
Well, after a great hunt, we gave thanks to God, we got in a hug, and Grayson got to dragging to get that buck back to camp. All right, grab a horn, I grab a horn. All right, we're gonna help the man out here.
I'm glad I shot at him.